And we back. Now today we're doing something I like to call Let's Agree. So the other day I tweeted this. Tweet me your best NBA opinions, thoughts, ideas. The best ones will be featured in the video on King of the Fourth Quarter. Let's get it. Now this is an idea inspired by Anthony Fantano, aka The Needle Drop. He's a guy that does a lot of music reviews, but I really like his second channel because he does stuff like this. He opens his mentions up to his followers. They can tweet him about anything and he will either agree with you or argue with you. And I think that's pretty cool. So we're making the NBA version of that. I'll put the link in the description to one of his videos. You probably already know who he is if you're a fan of music, but I'll put it down below anyway. Let's get into the first one of Let's Agree. It comes from True Is My QB. Bears fan, been supporting the channel for a very long time. Shout out to you. The Sixers getting LeBron will be a bad thing for Ben Simmons. Not only would it stunt his development, the way LeBron plays, Ben Simmons would be mostly useless considering he can only finish in the paint and handle the ball in offense. Well, I agree. So there are three main places that the normal NBA fan believes that LeBron could go. There's Philly, there's Houston, and there's LA. And out of those three, I think the worst fit is Philly. I agree with you on this one, man. Both of these guys are similar, right? They're both ball-dominant playmaking guys. Both of them. Now, let's say LeBron does sign there, and LeBron is bringing the ball up the court. Teams will play Ben Simmons basically the way they played him his rookie year. If he doesn't have the ball in his hands, you can have all that space because they know if he's not within 6 feet of the rim, he's not going to score the ball. So that's bringing another defender over. And it's weird because, I mean, this team overachieved. Coming into the season, they were projected to win like 40 games. They overachieved. They hit the playoffs, do extremely well in the first round, beat the Miami Heat. And then most people were saying like, hey, they're about to win the East. The Cavs suck. They're about to win the East. And that puts so much pressure on these young guys. They lose in the second round. I'm not saying the pressure is the reason they lose, but I'm just saying like that pressure is tough on guys. You got to think about Ben Simmons is 21. Joel Embiid is 24. Adding LeBron to that team will instantly turn them into not into players getting better every year. It will be like, let's go win right now. And honestly, though Ben Simmons was really good, he does have his holes. He definitely has to develop into a better player before it's time for let's go right now. But when LeBron comes to a team, that's his mindset. He's not going to be like, okay, we're going to sit around for 2 years while Ben Simmons gets ready. No, he's going to need these guys to be ready right now. And that's what I think he means when it comes to stunning the development of them. Because the goal is not development at that point. It's winning. It's winning. So I understand this 100%. Now, there have been situations where two ball-dominant players have been successful on the team. Think about it. When Chris Paul was traded to the Rockets, everybody's like, how are they going to play together? These are two guys that like to dribble for 20 seconds. How are they going to share the ball? Worked out, didn't it? And the reason it worked out is because when James Harden has the ball, you know who's on the wing ready to shoot the shot? Chris Paul. Because Chris Paul is a good three-point shooter. And when Chris Paul has the ball, you know who's on the wing? James Harden. And James Harden can hit that shot. It will not be the same way. Because if LeBron James got the ball, Ben Simmons on the wing, that's not a bucket. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, it could work. It definitely could work because LeBron is just so great. But I just think that it is the worst fit out of the possible choices. So, I'm saying I agree with you on that one. Next one comes from the Best Ops. He was on the video from like a week ago. Pretty cool guy. He says, the Clippers are silently rebuilding without tanking to the bottom of the league. They maintain a winning culture, and they have players and picks to throw in for future stars, similar to what the Rockets did with James Harden. I agree. I mentioned this on a video a couple days ago that Clippers fans should be super happy with what things are happening right now. Think about it. They just traded away their legendary point guard in Chris Paul and got something in return. He could literally have walked in free agency and they got zero, but they got something in return. It may not have been the greatest pieces, but it is still something in return. And then they trade away their second best player in Blake Griffin and get back Tobias Harris, who's a very good NBA player, and Avery Bradley, who's also a very good NBA player. Avery Bradley's a free agent this year, but you never know. He may resign. And then they get that first round pick. So right now you got a team that literally traded away their two best players and we're just like 5 games out of making the playoffs. And not only that, since they did make the playoffs, they now have a lottery pick of their own. And guess what? Detroit didn't make the playoffs either when they traded for Blake Griffin. So now they have 2 lottery picks, and they also have a roster that's good enough to at least compete for a playoff spot. So this way, you got competitive basketball every single night, and you also are going to have 2 young guys coming onto your team that can help you in the future. And that's if they keep them. They could trade those picks away. So I really like what they're doing, because teams in the league have figured it out that, hey, we can be bad for 5 years, and we can be right back at the top of the league if we hit on our draft picks. But the bad thing is that not a lot of teams end up hitting on every one of their draft picks. So they'll tank for years and years and years, but they miss on their draft picks. So the tanking is useless. Tanking is useless. I'm looking at you, Orlando. Y'all been at the bottom of the barrel for so long and y'all missed on all your draft picks. But you got like Sam Hinkie and them, trust the process. You hit on Joel Embiid, you hit on Ben Simmons. And now you're content where you're in the playoffs. So the tanking idea in theory could be very successful, but not many teams make that a reality. So I really like what the Clippers are doing by not tanking and still accumulating young pieces and stuff. Next comes from Kyle, who says, Michael Beasley, the walking bucket, deserves more respect than he gets. Yeah, there's a reason why Michael Beasley was drafted as high as he was, because he is a bucket getter. It's just kind of unfortunate that he never put together his entire game. I think about him. So I got these two different things. There's shot creators and there's shot makers. He's a shot creator. His struggle is getting the shot that he created to fall. I mean, it happens. Yeah, he gets points. But like him and J.R. Smith are very similar. They're like, you can give them the ball and say ISO, and they can end up creating a good look, but at the end of the day, it may not go in. Like, though, this guy, Michael Beasley, has the entire toolbox. He got all the tools in his box, but he's not a plumber. He's not a mechanic. He's got everything there is except for, like, that. And it sucks because, I mean, I like the guy. I like the guy. He is fun to watch. When he is hot, he is hot. And it's kind of cool to see him come back into the league and starting to do more things. You know, last couple years have been relatively successful for him. But yeah, he does deserve a little bit more respect. I think players around the league respect him because they know he can get you a bucket. But I mean, maybe the average fan don't think about Michael Beasley that way. They may think about one thing, and that's that Michael Beasley do. Used to. Speculation. Vincent says, winning rings is overrated when it comes to defining the greatness of a player. Singular players shouldn't be blamed or less respected because management decisions. After all, basketball is a 5v5 game, and winning is a team effort. You must have been reading through my emails. You must have been reading my mind, Vincent, because I agree 100%. Now, I understand people that bring rings into debates, but if your end-all be-all decision on whether a player was great was based on how many championships they have, I think you're doing basketball wrong. I think, yes, you're really doing basketball wrong because, again, it is a team sport. You could literally be the best player in the world and lose games, lose championships, because the surrounding cast just doesn't perform. Isn't that what we just saw? So I never understood the idea of classifying a guy's greatness based on his championships. When I think about Allen Iverson, when I think about Vince Carter, when I think about Karl Malone, players like that, the first thing that comes to mind is not, man, he ain't that great because he ain't win rings. It's, man, he was really great. He was really great. And I think about it similar to like what I said about Giannis. Milwaukee may never build a team around him that is good enough to win a championship. If it's all said and done, are we going to say that Giannis wasn't great if Milwaukee never builds a team around him? I don't think you should, because Giannis is great. Allen Iverson was great. Karl Malone was great. It just so happened that sometimes they don't end up in a situation to win it all, whether it be management decisions similar to what the Milwaukee Bucks may be going through, or you're playing against a super dominant team like Karl Malone. He literally played against a team that won 6 championships in 8 years, and they may have went 8 for 8 if Jordan didn't retire. It's just about timing, and everything has to fall into place to win a championship. It's not just your personal greatness. Marco tweeted, AllStar Weekend extensions. There should be a one-on-one contest in the AllStar Weekend. This would be a great idea, and it will increase the views and fans. But only 12 players from different teams will participate. Also, there should be a mascot game. I agree on the one-on-one thing. I've been talking about the one-on-one thing for years and years, but I don't think it'll ever happen because I don't think players would be willing to put themselves out there like that. Like, you imagine if Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook went one-on-one, whoever loses, that's the only thing people are going to be talking about. The only thing. And again, basketball is more than a one-on-one game. So just because you beat me on one-on-one don't make you a better basketball player than me. So I don't think players would do that. It's similar to like the LeBron James thing with the dunk contest. We know LeBron is one of the best dunkers in the league, but he'll never be in an all-star game. A dunk contest, because what does he have to win? Nothing. Nothing. He's got a lot to lose. People are like, man, he couldn't even win a dunk contest. Or in this situation, man, he lost in the first round of the one-on-one. You don't really benefit from that. The fans will love it. Like, trust me. I would love to see KD and LeBron go one-on-one, but you just won't see it. You won't see it in a setting like that, but it would be super cool, Marco. Thank you so much for watching this video. This was the Let's Agree part. Maybe in a couple days, if y'all really like this idea, we'll do the Let's Argue. And again, there were 500 replies, so there are probably a lot of things in there that I disagree with. Actually, I know that there are a lot of things in there that I disagree with it. So thank y'all so much for watching this video. Be sure to kill a like button if you want to see something like this again. Again, it's y'all getting y'all tweets out there, getting y'all opinions. It's not always just about mine. Thank y'all so much. Peace.